Hello and welcome to my channel, All Things Technical. Today I'm going to show you how to install XWiki application in Windows. XWiki is a Java-based wiki. In this environment, I'm using MySQL as my backend database. If you have a different database, then you'll have to change some of these things to suit your database needs. Uh, First, let me list out the correct package that you'll need to download. So we have to download 5 different packages. We need Java, we need MySQL, we need Apache Tomcat. We use the MySQL connector to be able to connect our XWiki to the MySQL database and the XWiki itself. I'm listed out the version that I'm using for this demo purpose on the screen. I'll list these informations into the description as well. Now I've already downloaded the Java uh, from the location here. And then I have my MySQL download from here. Then I have my Tomcat version 9043 download from here. I've downloaded this zip file. Then I have got my MySQL connector, and then finally the XWiki. So I've got this XWiki platform distribution WAR files from here. So I can see, as you can see, I have downloaded all these 5 different packages here. First, let's make sure our Java is installed properly. Now, to install Java, all you need to do is unzip this package to your desired location where you want the Java to be installed. I generally like the Java to be installed on the C programs Java for Windows, but as you can see, obviously I have a different version of Java. This is the version we're after. Now, to configure Java to use this particular version, you need to configure environment variables. So you will need to set up your environment variables within the system properties and create a Java home, and then set up the path, which is kind of what I've done already. So I'll create the Java home, point to the location where you want the version of Java to be used, and then create your Java home, location in your path. So once that's done and it's set up, when you do Java dash version, it should display the version of Java that it's correctly pointing to. Now, as you can see, I'm using version OpenJDK 11.017, so my Java is ready. Now, once Java is completed, we need to install the MySQL. I have already installed the MySQL server for this demo purpose, which is here. So my MySQL is ready as well. And then we need to create an XWiki, the database. Now, and then grant some permissions so that the XWiki application can use it. Now, to create an XWiki database, it's pretty easy. You click on this button called Create a New Schema in the connected server. I'm using localhost, XWiki. That should create a database for us. I'll just use all the default settings. Now, as you can see, the XWiki is ready. There's nothing at the moment in here. But what we need to do is we need to create a user to use this XWiki database. So we're going to create a user and we're going to name it XWiki as well and give it a password of XWiki. So let's just copy this command here and then create a user. All right, so that's create a user for us. Next is we are going to grant all the permissions for this user. Right, and let's execute that as well. Right, so now we have a XWiki database, we have created a user, and we have granted all the privileges that will be required to create like tables and all those things. There's no tables yet because it's an empty database, but that's all you need to do to set up a MySQL server. Now, going back to our notes, the third thing we need, the fifth thing here we need to do is extract Apache Tomcat. Now, I've done that as well, so I have extracted all the Apache Tomcat into the location under my cdevs folder, cdevs tools. So we have everything set up here, and here we go. All right. Now, next thing we need to do is to copy our MySQL connector to the Tomcats lib folder, which is uh, here. Let's go to the Tomcats lib folder, and in here we need to copy the MySQL connector. So I have this MySQL connector already downloaded. I have also unzipped it into my MySQL unzipped folder, and all we need to do is copy this jar file and then paste it here. Now, having done that, our XWiki application, which is running on Tomcats, should now be able to connect to MySQL server. Right. Now, the crucial part is obviously to extract the WAR files that's needed for the Tomcat, which is, call that folder now. So let's find that XWiki that we've downloaded, which is in here. So this is the package we downloaded. I've also unzipped this package already, and this is where it is. Okay, I need to copy this information into my web apps folder, right, into the Tomcat. So in Tomcat, under the web apps folder, I'm going to create a folder called Wiki, and inside Wiki, I am going to copy paste all these informations, all these files. Right. Now, while these files have been copied, one thing we need to, what's one thing that's important for the XWiki is to create a directory where you can store the persistent data. Right. I like to create that under C program data wiki on the data, which I have done already. And you also need to grant the permission, the full permission. So I've created this. Here's C program data XWiki data. You need to grant the permission for this folder to be. You need to grant the read, write, modify all the permissions. So I've given all the permissions. Just right click on the file on the folder and grant all the permissions that may be required for your XWiki application to be able to read and write and modify the files into the folder, which I've done already. It's empty at this files and folder. This folder is empty at the moment, but once you see that, once we install XWiki, once it starts, it will be populated. Now, is it still copying my files? Okay, yep. All right, it's nearly done. Copying the files. 15 seconds left. Now, after we've done that, the next thing we will need to do is do some configurations. So we'll need to modify 3 files. We need to modify hibernate.cfg.xml file to use MySQL database. We need to then define our persistent data folder, which is the one where I was talking about, C program data wiki XWiki data folder, and then on the XWiki CFG, which is a configuration, we just say XWiki store migration to be 0, which is probably true at the moment, and then start the Tomcat. Now, okay, cool. So the files, copying of the files is complete. Now let's go into the webinf. Then first, let's make a change in the hibernation for the Hibernate folder. Okay, so this is my Hibernate file, not a folder, sorry. And then it is currently configured to use SQLDB. Now I am going to comment this out because I want to use MySQL, right? And then I am going to uncomment the MySQL information, put that there, okay. Now I need to modify these settings a little bit. For that, what I need to do is I need to add these extra informations here. Else, if you don't add this public key retrieval, it will throw an error. All right, so let's add the extra information here. Okay, that's done, and that's all it is for this Hibernate file. The next one we had on our list was the XWiki.properties. Right, let's copy this information from here, XWiki, and open up XWiki.properties, and then let's make the changes. So on XWiki.properties, let's find a permanent directory, which is probably somewhere in the middle, I think. Here we go. It is commented out. Let's uncomment it. It has this folder structure I use normally for the Linux, which I'm going to change to Windows. And then lastly, we need to open xwiki.configuration and change the XWiki store migration to be false. Right. So let's open up xwiki.cfg file, and then I'm just going to search for it. Right, there we go. Now that's commented out. No, not this one, the other one. To find one more. Yep, okay, so as you can see, the xwiki.store.migration is true at the moment. I'm just going to change it to false. All right, that's done. And that should be all we will need to do to run our XWiki. After that, let's go to our Tomcat. So our Tomcat is running on cdev x Apache Tomcat folder. Under the bin, you will see there's a startup.batch file. I'm going to run that. Start that batch file, which should then start.tomcat. I'll just wait for this Tomcat to run. So our Tomcat should be running on localhost port 8080. Okay, so it's still taking its time to start the Tomcat. Okay, let's have some patience. So as you can see from these logs, I think it's trying to deploy web applications. XWiki. Right, and you know this is where we said the persistent data will be stored, which is C program data XWiki data folder. Right. Okay. It does take a bit of time for this installation to complete. I think it's just a waiting game now. Just waiting for this Tomcat to start up properly. Okay, there we go. Okay, server startup in milliseconds. Our Tomcat is ready. Now to go to our XWiki, all we need to do is type in. What's the folder name that we gave? Was it Wiki or XWiki? So our folder name was Wiki. So we need to go to the folder called Wiki then. Right. Wiki. And as you can see, we have XWiki is initializing. It is going to take a little bit of time for this to complete because I think it's trying to set up all the tables and other things in the database. close this. It's nearly done. It's 93%. So waiting for this to reach 100%. And then we should see the XWiki setup page. There we go. Now we can see the distribution widget where you can now set up the XWiki. So that's all you need to do to set up the XWiki to connect to your MySQL server. I hope this video was helpful to you if you're trying to set up XWiki and connecting to your MySQL server. And thank you for watching this video.